Welcome to this Let's Play of... Laid-back Let's Play. That's what I say, isn't it? Welcome to this laid-back Let's Play of Star Wars The Old Republic. My name is Rich. And today we are on Voss. Or we remain on Voss. We're in the Gormak lands. In the south of the Voss region that we get to explore. Not done anything in the Nightmare lands. Or really anything in the Pelath Re marches that I recall. I doubt that we get any quests here. I guess we'll probably, if we do have missions over here, we'll probably just get directed to the location. The game has been pretty good about doing that. It's still odd that we went straight from here to here, given that there isn't a direct route between here. Like, you can go around this way, I think. Isn't that what I just did? Tunnel, Nightmare Lands, tunnel. No, not Nightmare Lands. What was this one? Desolation Pass, there we go. Cheery sounding place. Nightmare Lands. Pelath Re marches, old paths. Yeah. And there's nothing over here that gets you down through this way. So I don't know why this is the first place that I get to go to. Oh well, plenty to do. So let's get and do it. We are retrieving carvings, planting charges on generators, because there's a big cannon here. Well, that's just the cannon, but no, it's not quite aimed right. It's not quite the right size or shape. But when we get down there, you'll see it. It's a big old. It's a huge thing. And we're also retrieving stolen medical supplies, which is a worthy mission. I've outgrown you. More than halfway to 600, but there is a 700. You get to upgrade your crafting. Is this where I want to be going? Yeah. Once you reach 600, you get to add another 100 to the total, and start crafting some more. But I'm a bit of a ways from 600 from on any of these. I'm curious to see what the expansion that gets released in December is going to add. I've been looking into... Is it Legacy of the Sith? Something like that. I've forgotten what their expansion is going to be called. But it allows you... It's going to... The big thing that people have been talking about, and so I looked up on YouTube Star Wars The Old Republic 7th. Oh yeah. Playing a lot of melee characters. Well, I'm playing 2 melee characters, but doing it a lot. Which is why I ran straight up to him. So I looked up on YouTube Star Wars The Old Republic 7, because that's what the next expansion is going to be, the 7th one. And The main thing that everyone was talking about was how you're going to be able to choose a lot more class types when you're creating a character, and presumably once the update goes live, your characters that you've already created are going to get the option to choose a different, re-choose their power set, basically. So at the moment, the way that powers and classes are set up is you choose one class of 4 on each side, so there's a total of 8, but each class is mirrored. The Jedi Consular is mirrored by the Sith Inquisitor, and the Sage is mirrored by the Sorcerer, and the Shadow is mirrored by the Assassin. The powers look different, they've got different animations, but mechanically, in terms of like the numbers are all the same. So my Sage performs exactly the same way as an Inquisitor Sorcerer, who's made the same, spec choice, but their animation, like their character animations and power animations, look different. And what's changing in the 7th edition is that all of your tech users get to choose, any of your tech users get to choose any of the tech options, and any of your force users get to choose any of the force options. So in in the 7th expansion, my Consular will presumably be able to choose any of the force power sets, with a caveat being that the force user, your alignment needs to be well, there's other videos, particularly by Swatorista, explaining this, but like of the 8 power sets for the Jedi, the Force users, half of them are light side and half of them are dark side, because half of them come from Jedi and half from Sith. As hopefully it would make sense. And so if you're playing your Jedi dark side and you're taking evil options and being an enormous knobhead, you would get to choose I think any of the available Force user options. It would be easy to explain with the tech side, but I'm not playing a tech character. So if I was playing a trooper, instead of being locked into one of the 2 current options for a trooper, I would be able to just pick any of the 8 choices. So I'd be able to wield dual pistols, or a sniper rifle, or a big heavy gun, or a power set that looks like it's a Mandalorian power armor set, or a power set that looks like it's a commando, a Republic Commando set, regardless of which side I was playing. Yeah. I can already tell that my explanation is not actually very good, which is unfortunate but understandable. Basically, if you want to know more, look up somebody who's making videos on YouTube who can actually explain it with like visuals, showing the links between what powers are available for what classes. But yeah, so when you're creating a new character in December with the new expansion, you choose the story that you want to go through, whether that be Republic or Empire side. Well, you choose a side, Republic or Empire, and then the story that you want to go through, the Jedi Knight, the Jedi Consular, the Smuggler or the Trooper, or the Empire side, Sith, Warrior... Warrior? Juggernaut is one of the warrior classes. I think it's Sith Warrior. Sith Warrior or Inquisitor or Operative or Bounty Hunter. And that determines what story you go through. But once you've chosen the story, so if I was remaking Guhe, I would pick the Jedi Consular storyline, and I'd get to play through the Jedi Consular story, but I'd have my pick of any of the 4 light side Force power sets whilst playing that story. So I could choose to be a Knight or a Sentinel or a Consular, not Consular, Sage. It's right there. It's right there. A Sage or a Shadow. And I think I might actually make that change. Like, I might change to being one of the 2 Jedi power sets that get a spec that is a tank, because I think that would make life easier if I were playing a tank and I had Kaizen as, well, my companion as either DPS support or healer. I think that might smooth out the most difficult bits of the challenges that I face. Certainly make them more survivable. Or I might have a go at the Jedi Knight tank class. I suppose it will also depend on how the classes change, because I imagine that there'll be some amount of power rebalancing with a new expansion, because that tends to happen. So I guess probably be best to keep an eye out for me when playing, and being prepared to play, preparing myself to play. Keep an eye out on YouTube for guides on how classes are going to change. Because they'll put stuff up on... People will put stuff up on YouTube talking about their experiences playing on the public test server. Which I really... Oh, there we go. There's the cannon. It's aimed at... Well, broadly... You can't really see it from here, can you? It's aimed over here at the city. Although the city is not very, like, are they expecting the shot to arc? Hi, welcome, Mr. Gunny. Let me guess, you like guns? Welcome. Oop, hello. I've attracted some attention. But yeah, basically, changes coming up for the game. Quite major changes with the release of a new expansion in December. And with it, the way that you choose your powers as a player. I didn't see anything talking about new story stuff, like the actual story content of the new expansion, but I'm looking forward to that as well, because I'm basically playing for the story. That's what I'm here for. I'm not blowing the charges yet, apparently. Defeat Southern Gormak Land's forces. Okay, so we actually do need to get into scraps here. That's not really doing anything very useful, is it? I mean, I did say when I was creating this character that I wanted to play a ranged force user, and I kind of still would like that, but I would prefer to be able to tank or switch out to a tank spec more at this point, because yeah, I've struggled doing content because I can't really take punishment as a ranged squishy character like this. So, unless the classes change dramatically when the new expansion drops, I'll probably might choose the Shadow actually, just so that I've got stealth, because being able to stealth past enemies would also be pretty nice. A tank with stealth. It's almost as good as a tank that can do ranged. Which you don't usually get to be able to do, unfortunately. Ranged tanking is typically viewed as a bit too strong. Although you can do it in Champions Online. Though a lot of the uniqueness about power choices is kind of erased in Champions Online, unfortunately. I don't imagine they've changed anything drastic in the last year. Given that last time I heard, they've only got one dev working on the game, which does suck. It is unfortunate. Yeah, let's actually go around this way. Yeah. There is a door under the cannon. Yeah, there we go, you can see it there. So I imagine that we're going to need to go in under there at some point as well. What the hell just happened with the camera? Law object. Well then. Let's find out what that law object is. I mean, the next expansion is some ways off. Well, not that far off, but it is more than a month away. Perhaps 2 months away. I mean, it depends when it drops in December, but I suppose this is relatively early to be hearing things about what is that underground? Bet you it is, isn't it? Gonna need to go underground to do the last of the generators, aren't I? Yeah, I did think I'd be going underground to do that, so it was a bit of a surprise that the first one was outside anywhere. Let's visit the locations of the other generators. See whether there are any more that are outside. Yeah, that's a generator, isn't it? Oh, was it up? I bet it was up, wasn't it? Drat. Oh well, at least I discovered now rather than after going underground and fighting away for any length of time in the tunnels. So yeah, I'm musing on how 2 months is a bit of a wait, or a bit much to be expecting information on detailed information on the variety of like nitty-gritty sort of class rules, I guess. The class play rules. Changes, like balance changes is what I mean. I would expect to hear something about the story. What did I just pick up? Something impressive. Yeah, okay. So I guess I'll do some more research on the upcoming changes. These not stack? You would think they would, given that they're essentially identical. That's not useful to me. Might as well take that. I don't actually know what it does. Can I break any of these down? Oh, I can break these down. That's interesting. And the boots. Let's deconstruct the boots. Here in the middle of nowhere. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. Can I put them? No, can't put them in. Crafting components. Okay. Find somewhere to put them. So basically I've got research to do before making my decision. But the decision itself is some time away, and there should be enough information and time before that decision comes up to allow me to make the best decision possible. It also kind of depends on how the classes play once the balances have changed, because despite saying I want to play as a tank, or I'd kind of like to play as a tank and preferably a shadow so that I've got stealth, if the class balance changes, alter the way that the class feels to play, I'm not really going to want to play a character I don't enjoy playing the rotation of. What am I doing here? Activate. No. Place the carving pieces on the wall. Okay. Ah, somebody else is here fighting their way through. Trooper phase, okay. And there's Jedi Consular phase. I'm surprised that the Jedi Consular and the Trooper had stuff to do in the same place. Bonus objectives to defeat people on my way through, or defeating them would have activated the bonus objective. Gaiden Cove. I'm surprised he's managed to get in here. Finally finished watching The Mandalorian Season 2. It took a little while for it to get its claws into me, but now I'm itching for the next season, even though I doubt that it'll be forthcoming anytime soon. I said I'd watch Loki, and I've just started on WandaVision today as well. Unfortunately, I found the first 3 episodes very difficult to watch because of the style of comedy that so the first episode is based on 50s sitcoms, the second 60s sitcoms, the third 70s sitcoms, and the humor employed in those settings is not a humor that I enjoy, because it makes me really, really uncomfortable. It's like it relies heavily on making the viewer feel embarrassed for the characters because of the situation that they found themselves in. And I think, as I understand it, my discomfort with that style of comedy comes from my feelings of anxiety. If you've got anxiety, you can't really... I have read people say online, and it seems to match up with my experiences because I'm pretty sure I've got anxiety. And I find it very difficult to watch comedy that relies on making you feel, as I said, embarrassed for the people who are the characters who you're watching. And the comedy in the first 3 episodes relies heavily on that, so I found myself skipping through the episodes. There were interesting bits, bits that you probably should watch to catch, because they come up again later. I'm on the 4th or 5th episode. And the feel of the show is changing and getting more interesting. And it's not relying on, embarrassing comedy. Or at least it didn't the 4th episode. So here's fingers crossed that that remains constant and we get to cool superhero stuff.
I contemplate the carving for a sign to guide me. All shards are one. The pattern is no vision or sign. Improper.
Insights come in their own time, not at our convenience.
I have waited.
A shelter, we... Gate and Co. Unescorted.
I assure you, Gaiden Co. is quite safe.
Tenase, Captain Voss Commandos. Our mission in jeopardy. We had to retreat. Gate and Co. Your intuition would help.
No. I await a sign.
There are no coincidences. You wanted a sign and these commandos arrived.
You do not understand. I listen. For now. My sign waits.
The Gormak mine a crystal outcropping. Crystals for mystics. The Gormak use the crystals. Tame beasts, improve them for war. It must stop.
What do the Gormak do to these creatures once they're tamed?
Beasts are fitted with machinery. Crystals must be reclaimed. The Gormak have an army. We need help.
Hunting Gormak. Proper use of my intuition.
We can stop Gormak patrols. Their mining operation remains. I have few men. You are skilled.
The Gormak will be prepared for Voss commandos, not a Jedi Master.
We in Gaidenco will distract most Gormak. More guard the mines.
Do this, please. We will meet you here.
Sounds good. Where is that? Oh, this one, okay. Well, I'm sure that no one will find the explosives that we planted on the generators. Despite the big glowing lights. The generator already had glowing lights on it, I'm sure no one will notice. Doesn't seem as though they have... Oh, hold on, they did have people at the generators. Tricky. I didn't catch either of these two. I thought I placed it so that it would. That's weird. So there were Gormak around the generators, most of them. Even the one down here had Gormak like poking it, seeing to it. So on the one hand, it seems as though there are supposed to be people there. On the other hand, within the narrative of the game, we have been to each of those generators and killed all of those people. So perhaps we can rely on anybody that happens to find no, that's not the one I want to go to. The defeated, I think we killed them, didn't we? But the game uses the term defeat, so it's not absolutely certain. Anyone who does find the defeated patrols or you know, maintenance crews or whatever, hopefully won't be familiar with the specific technology of the don't hawk your toxic loogies on me, thank you. Horrible thing. Wow. Carbonite. It spits carbonite. Do I keep picking up? I just click the button automatically without thinking. So we want to be going that way. Let's defeat this Pyro Marvor Alpha anyway. I was about to say it didn't seem to be using any fire abilities, but it did set Kaizen on fire, I just didn't notice. So fair enough. Whether this has phases. Yes, it does. Smuggler phase, consular phase. I was wondering why there was a two-branched interior here, but we were only being directed to one side of it. Turns out it's phased. So I wonder what the smugglers want in here then. Well, that barely did anything to him, did it? How much health has he got? 25,000. That's quite a lot. How much have I got? 13,000. He's got more than 10,000 more than me. see. It's gone. That's a different buff. Burrower. Chance on hit to bore into armor, reducing target's armor rating. That sounds bad. I also, as well as starting to watch WandaVision, acquired Marvel's What If, which I look forward to watching. Just occurred to me, Disney currently own Marvel and, well, not Marvel entirely, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think. Definitely saw the Disney Plus sign at the beginning of WandaVision. Should probably investigate that, just to make sure. But it seems as though they own both Marvel's Cinematic Universe and Star Wars. So I wonder whether there could be any crossover possible. See, I remember reading a Star Trek X-Men crossover once. Bought the book because I'm a sucker for universe crossover stories. So I wonder if Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars now, if they'd ever do any kind of is that worth switching out? I'd lose accuracy and force power. I'd gain a bunch of other stuff. It looks like it adds up to more. Well, yeah, there's tech power there. What's the difference between force power and tech power? I can't see anything on his presence. Don't have a shield. Absorb, defense, accuracy, alacrity, critical power, endurance, mastery. But that doesn't say anything. Oh, no, there we go. Force. Damn it, no, that's not a tracker of force power, is it? Force power 900 plus 200. Where am I getting these totals from? Oh, well, given the fact that requires generator. Oh, I wouldn't be able to use it anyway. Okay, fair enough. So I should probably deconstruct it then, eh? Destroy the mining equipment. I don't know why that... Alright, that was a secondary explosion. Why would destroying this console cause a secondary explosion in the drill? Like, yes, there would be a transfer of power from one to the other, presumably, unless this is a generator. Is it regulating the flow of power? But why would you have the regulator, the power regulator, in the console over here rather than in the drill itself? Oh well, never mind. I guess they've got explosion. They wanted an explosion on the drill just because they wanted an explosion on the drill. They didn't think about how the technology would be put together. Acquired a lightsaber crystal. Where is it? Oh, there. The lightsaber crystal you procured from the Gormak mines. Okay. Now we want to leave. Oh, go back in here. Okay. I was thinking if we just leave, and even if we leave we still need to do a thing here, so probably best not to shuttle out. But as it happens, coming out and checking, we'd need to go in here to do a thing here anyway, so let's do that. Standing there instead of coming over to say hi. What the purpose of these embankments is... Oops, that was probably a bit too close. Yeah, he's started to have a go. Luckily, he doesn't seem to be able to do much. He also wants to have a go, but is also not close enough. If I were a shadow, I'd just be able to sneak past. Wouldn't have to get into fights every single time. It's not like I need the fights for XP or anything. or even really the fights that you need to grind in this game. You get your XP from completing missions, not from grinding mobs. Thankfully, I'm not really a grindy type of a guy.
Gormak withdraw.
We fought 7 patrols. Are the crystals safe?
Yes, and I believe this rightfully belongs to your people.
This is for the Tower of Prophecy.
2 commandos vanished. Gaydon Coe's tuition saved another. Something hunted us. Not Gormak.
Probably a Sith.
A potential mystic would be irresistible to an enemy scout team.
We will search. I am not hopeful.
I have finished here. Our last destination is ahead. The Deep Cradle.
What's wrong? Is it the missing commandos?
No. I must think. We leave.
You cannot. The lands near the cradle are corrupted. The Nightmare Lands.
Ah.
Do you mean these lands have been damaged somehow?
Men go mad there.
There are protective rituals. Talon Day at the Commando Outpost will guide. We shall go.
You both show promise. Goodbye.
So we are actually going to the Nightmare Lands now.
Jedi, a question.
No.
No need to ask permission, Gaydon Co. What is it?
You were right. Commandos were the sign to guide me. The sign came without a vision. You need no visions. Do visions mark my people as special? Or needing guidance?
Being convinced you have a great destiny is a path to destruction.
Intriguing. Great questions are for mystics, not potentials. This is new.
Visions or not, your pilgrimage is certainly shaping you for a role.
I may never be mystic, but I learn. The Deep Cradle. We go carefully.
Nice. No, I can break that down. Okay, now here, then, yeah, shuttle up here, come out here, and go through this region. That'll be fun. How did they... It's been quite spread out, haven't they? So far, we haven't been asked to go down under the cannon. We might be asked once we blow the... Okay. Wasn't quite far enough to avoid them. Once we blow the explosives, we might need to head under because something goes wrong. Maybe they've got extra generators or something. I don't know. But maybe it's a place for other classes, other stories. Oh no, the whole thing goes up. Cool.
Outsider, Pevfak Fra wishes to speak with you.
The charges have detonated. Voss is safe. The Gormak are vicious. You have strength.
What's next for us?
Come to the Gormakos camp. There is much to discuss.
Okay, this is... up here, apparently, okay. Sell things.
Report your ailments.
My inventory could do with a cleanup, couldn't it?
You are fit for duty. Return to your post. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Stuff here.
Sharda, I found your stolen medical supplies.
There are sick and injured. The healers will be grateful. The Gormak were many. An outsider lives. Surprising. These will go where needed.
Splendid.
Voss is safe. You fought bravely. We saw the cannon. We should have struck first. The Gormak have become bold. Jokul leads them.
Who or what is Jokul?
Their most fearsome warrior. The Gormak were savages. Now they build cannons, ships. Jokul gives the Gormak purpose. They grow stronger.
The Gormak must want something.
The Gormak would destroy us. That is their only motive. All Gormak resources went into that cannon. Gormakos is exposed. We must strike.
Sounds like a
Maid
good
Sa
idea.
will lead the commandos.
You will defeat the Gormak. Your skills seem adequate.
You must be an expert on fighting the Gormak.
We have fought for years. Many have died.
Jokul rules from Gormakos. Their strongest stand guard.
The Gormak have many defenses. The commandos will clear a path.
While Jokul lives, the Gormak are unstoppable. He must die.
I will take care of it.
The commandos strike first. Follow the vision, outsider.
This is our chance. Do not hesitate. Enter Gormakos. Find Jokul.
Go, now!
Got no idea where Gormakos is. No, the armor I'm getting probably, like the gloves, probably wants to be broken down by synthweave, actually, doesn't it? Ah, Gormakos, here. I thought this should be where we'd be going. But now I need to go all the way back down the map to go under the cannon. An explosion like the one that took it out, you would think that it would collapse the tunnel it's over, wouldn't you? Guess they build things to be sturdy. I do like the Gormak architecture. It's suitably alien. These things, for some reason, kind of remind me of artwork for Magic the Gathering's Mirrodin stuff. Like, it's kind of tech, kind of a little bit magic. And weird. It also puts me in mind, particularly these big sort of monolith gate things, put me in mind of artwork by Mobius. That's a feeling that other people might have, or whether that was what they were going for, but that's what I think when I see tech archers. This is quite big, isn't it? That looks smashed in, doesn't it? Why would you build a lighting tower and not connect it to the ceiling as a column? Why not just connect these to the ceiling or build a column? Group phase. What's the betting we go in there later? Hello. Dagon Rom. Ooh, that was a purple thing. Prosperity token. Okay. That'll be in currency, won't it? Feast of Prosperity event. That's probably... Feast of Prosperity. That sounds like a harvest festival. But that's for Thanksgiving. But I thought Thanksgiving was at the end of November. We're more than a month away from that. Interesting design aesthetic with sort of dangling, strapped together cables. Like a Voss. Nice. Defeat 250 Gormak combatants on the planet Voss. Cool.
Outsider, you are a welcome sight. I led several squads here. We split up to cover ground. The Gormak were waiting. We were ambushed.
Have you been hurt?
We will survive. Our victory is not certain. Another squad made it farther inside. They reported security fields, weapons, Gormak traps. We lost contact. The Gormak have many defenses. The assault will be difficult if they remain armed.
All the tech in Gormakos won't stop me.
You do not fight alone, outsider.
Mesa! The Gormak, we're captured! Send help!
Commandos will not escape without assistance. They know the price of victory. You must strike now if we are to kill Jokal.
I won't let the Voss die down here.
You risk defeat. The commandos are not far. I will tell them help is coming. We will continue the assault. Move quickly.
I'm sure I can get round to all of the objectives we've got down here. I wonder if we'll actually encounter any traps. It's not really something I've seen in the game thus far. This isn't really a puzzle-solving game. I mean, other than finding holocrons, datacrons. This isn't really... I mean, Dungeons & Dragons Online has more puzzle-solving. And Secret World Legends has loads more puzzle-solving, although not like physical world puzzles so much as riddles and like thinky brain puzzles. But yeah, I haven't really seen traps in here. Oh, hey. Here's the commandos. These are like fairly miserable conditions. I wonder why they're keeping the commandos captive. How do I get them out? What do you keep hitting me with? What do you keep hitting me with? I thought it was weird that I was doing that kind of attack instead of a clicky hand type. Do I need to defeat prison guards before I can let the prisoners out? Is that what it is? These look like pretty miserable holding cells. You can at least stand up in them, but there's nothing soft to lie down on. I really hope that they're not permanent holding cells. What's he shooting? Now I can open the cages, okay. Oh, there's a console. That makes sense. Do I hit the console by any chance? Actually, I should probably sweep the area just to make sure that the prisoners don't get, like, killed the moment that they leave their containment facilities. That'd be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? Free them only to walk straight into death. Oh, I don't hit it with a lightsaber. That's a surprise.
Thank you, Outsider. The Gormak meant to slaughter us.
Why would they keep you...
Raidsaw has called for reinforcements. We will fight on.
Why would they keep them prisoner to kill them later? That's very strange. Unless by slaughter they mean, like, lambs to slaughter, like butchering, like prepare for eating. It's a bit grim. I suppose it's possible if they want to make the Gormak super evil. Where he's just chilling out here, eh? What's going on, eh?
You would destroy Voska. You are the corruption.
What's your reasoning on that? If you've got a point, I suggest getting to it.
Kung klung sa am doting namani how lame hai. Ve kom ni go dang lai cho fei tak chong la tam so.
Rinsa, the Gormak defenses are too many. We cannot reach you. We must fall back.
Gormak told us what would come. It happened as he saw.
Only a mystic knows what comes. The Gormak sees.
You're some kind of Gormak mystic.
Oh no mi viscom compreniro so kong. Men was droche comes at from track. Den truwag shishivu makun kem shibiza.
Really? You're not saying anything about me, though, are you? Haven't accounted for me. Are you capable? One wonders. I think that he can account for. Kaiser neither.
Você do vrativi sa la tamanya nyawai ma. Dan foi vudagan achnan chok tontei. Vebegor nesafon. La dutsino futkom. Nigo wabon giaroi. Kontasavo fatban kap.
What's the Dark Heart?
The ancient core of the Nightmare Lands. A dark, dangerous place few survive. Most go mad.
The darkness of the Nightmare Land steals the reason of some mystics. It could give Gormak a mystic sight.
How many more Gormak have entered? There could be others. Gormak mystics.
Impossible. Jokul is not a mystic. We will not listen.
The Force gives the mystics their power. Jokul could have it too.
Your power does not make you a mystic.
The commandos called as predicted. Jokul saw the future. This cannot be denied.
We are not interpreters. The Gormak's visions must be judged.
You would set a Gormak among the Voss. Show all that the mystics share their power with our enemies? No. Jokul would bring chaos to Voska. Finish him, outsider.
We have to know more about Jokul's visions, no matter the cost.
You are fortunate the mystics have seen your worth. The three will decide our next move. Speak with Laren Kai and Voska. I will inform Pevthok Fra of our victory. Farewell.
Yeah. What to do with Jokul doesn't seem like a decision to be made by us here now. Particularly if he's capable of using the same techniques as Voss Mystics. Oh, what are we doing? Okay, we can just shuttle out the name. Head for the Nightmare Lands. It's appropriately twisty there as well, or at least the trees are. Hello. You're a, that's a pureblood Sith companion there. Interesting.
Stand by for examination and suggested product. You are fit for duty. Return to your post. Report your ailments.
I don't think that I need to walk out. I think I can just take a ship or a taxi. Yeah.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
Why is something... Oh, okay.
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
I guess we'll do that first then, eh? Okay, so this is interesting. You can't actually traverse this going up. There's a thing there to interact with next to a corpse. It's a grappling hook. You fire it up, and you don't actually see your character animated hauling themselves up, but you just kind of switch to being at the top of the slope. Getting down is no problem, but getting up you can't actually do unaided. The thing we actually want to get to is down in the canyon, isn't it? So let's see whether we can jump. No, probably not. Not from here, anyway. Can probably jump from the other side, rather than having to go around. Oops, wrong button. But there's an extra bit of canyon over here that would have prevented me from getting across.
Outsider, you have returned. This matter must be settled in Voss. Ambassador Janik remains at his post.
I've been following the developments in Gormakos. You've done the Republic proud.
The Gormak cannon is silent. Voss is safe. We are grateful.
Are you aware the Gormak King is having visions?
Raid Saw sent word of the assault. His report was disturbing.
Jokel's been imprisoned as far from the Voss as possible. Apparently he's here on your orders.
Jokel should not be here. He is not Voss.
Jokel knew things he shouldn't have.
Jokel might have known the commandos wouldn't reach you. He couldn't have known they would contact Raid Saw.
The Mystics agree. Jokel was having visions.
Visions would explain the Gormak's military strides since Jokel took over.
Jokel would use his sight to destroy all Voss. The visions must end.
The Gormak have an edge. What do we do about it?
Jokel said his visions began after a trip to the Nightmare Lands. Whatever caused them must be down there too.
Enter the Nightmare Lands. Follow Jokel's path. Destroy the source.
Can you tell me anything else about this area?
The Nightmare Lands are a place of darkness. Most go mad.
The Mystics have a ritual to protect themselves. You'll need to complete it in order to reach the Dark Heart.
What does this mystic ritual involve?
You will face madness. You will be cleansed. Talon Day will guide you. Find him at the landing site. The Gormak must be defeated. You will return.
Just need to wait 30 seconds and then I can shuttle out over here. Oh yeah. Kind of surprised. I was down here hanging out doing stuff and then I shuttled up here rather than here. Oh yeah, I needed to hand stuff in, didn't I? Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I didn't just shuttle straight here. I wouldn't have had stuff to do. And then I wouldn't have noticed... Well, I probably would have noticed that I had stuff to do up here as well at some point, but... I'm glad we've done it this way instead of the other. Anyway. Just struttle. Struttle straight down. Shuttle straight down. I just left. Why are you ringing me?
Jedi, it's Sophia Farish, the Republic Ambassador. We spoke in Voss?
It's good to hear your voice, Ambassador.
I'm glad you're both all right. Hello, Gaiden Co. I heard what happened to your family. I'm so sorry.
I seek its meaning.
Jedi, of course Gaiden Co.'s pilgrimage is important, but I have a request. A Republic team has gone missing in that region. Our top archaeologist, Dr. Carrion, ignored the warnings and took an expedition into those nightmare lands. We haven't heard from him since.
He must have been pursuing something important.
He said the ruins might give important insight into ancient Voss society.
I need a guide. Landmarks are changed. The deep cradle hides. Dr. Carrion might know.
Where was his team heading?
He filed an expedition proposal with his chosen campsite. I'll send you the location now. Good luck. And please, don't take any risks out there.
You would think holoprojectors would be able to project 2 different people at once, like split screening, like we can do on like conference calls. Crafting nightmares. Attention outsiders and potential allies. The corruption of the Nightmare Lands spreads. These lands are eaten by darkness. Outsiders, Imperial and Republic, ignore our warnings. They enter the Nightmare Lands. Madness eats them. Now the madmen return and build. These craftsmen create shrines. Around these shrines, the Nightmare Lands corruption devours faster. Evil drives the craftsmen to build. Voss will seek answers from the mystics. Outsiders must see the shrines and their craftsmen destroyed. Okay, fair enough. Makes sense. Attention outsiders and potential allies. The Gormak madness grows. The Thalak tribe camps in the boneyards. These Gormak walk the Nightmare Lands without fear. They return changed. Now the Thalak tribesmen build new machines. Each one has the strength of 10. Voss commandos fight them by dozens and die. Outsiders who destroy the Thalak tribe will be rewarded. Speed is necessary. Voskart trembles. That sounds like a lot. Another dark heart.
I'm looking for Talon Day. I need protection against the Nightmare Lands.
Laren Kai sent word. You follow the Gormak's path. The Nightmare Lands have been since the dawn of Voss. They hold many secrets. Enter lightly, and you will be lost to madness.
There must be some way to resist the Nightmare Lands effects.
The mystic Kida created a ritual of cleansing. It is our only protection. If you hope to survive the Nightmare Lands, you must complete Kida's ritual.
Where's the best place to begin?
You will need a dark crystal. Several grow in caves throughout the Nightmare Lands. Deadly Veratikai have made the caves their home. Defeat these beasts to reach the crystals. Use the crystal to cleanse the corrupted. It will trap the darkness that drives the mad.
How will I know who needs to be cleansed?
The corrupted wander blind. They will attack. Be quick. After the corrupted have been cleansed, take the crystal to the ruins nearby. Place the crystal before the ancient tablets. Meditate. You will gain Kida's wisdom. The darkness will no longer harm you.
Find the crystal, use it on the corrupted. Take it to the ruins and meditate.
Follow Kida's ritual. Only then will you be safe.
You know, it's interesting. I've been through these Nightmare Lands before, exploring, so I could have the whole planet explored. And I didn't go mad. Interesting, that. We also have some post. Yashuvo, beginning. We came to Tython. Master Delsa's lessons are harsh but fair. His words spur us on. Lord Beldis taught much that was wrong. We are slow to unlearn, but here we are not lost. We begin. Cool. So that's from the failed mystic hopefuls who we found with Beldis, the Sith. We defeated Beldis and suggested that they might find useful teaching amongst the Jedi. So they went there, and the Jedi were like, alright, well, fine, we'll do it. Didn't really want to take on Voss, but have done anyway, because I forced them. Which I don't regret. The Jedi need a kick up the arse sometimes. Is what we're here to do? No, craftsman builders, right. Yeah, see, the nightmare trees are all twisty. And kind of cleave the Wanderer. Yeah, I'm not attacking him. He's going to be a world boss, isn't he? They're almost... shit, what's the name of the guy? Director of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton. They're almost Burton-esque, aren't they? Not quite curly and twisty enough for that, but almost. Don't we destroy this thing? Hello. Ah, good. There are some more conveniently nearby. I want to destroy shrines, although that appears to be... yeah, it's not here. Obviously they haven't finished their shrines here, although I'm surprised I'm not asked to destroy the partially finished shrines. I mean, it would only take a few more mad builders to come and find them and finish them off, wouldn't it? Why not set the progress back? I'm curious about what the music in this area sounds like, but I don't want to open myself to copyright claims. when I upload this to YouTube. Doesn't seem like it's destroyed, just switched off. Though I suppose actually looking like it was destroyed would have required creating a new asset for the game that's like this, but broken along some lines. Oh, hello. Rise. That was a lot. Well, it wasn't that bad. I wasn't in danger of dying. But it was a bit hairy there. I'm just doing more of that. It's going to attract more of them. Maybe I should kill them before they decide to draw in. Hopefully, if it attracts anything, it will only attract the one thing that's relatively nearby. No, it doesn't seem like it's attracted anything. Alright. Defeat craftsman leader. Why do they have a leader? I figured they were kind of operating as a possessed hive mind or something. Like they were all given a singular purpose by the madness. And all operating with the same sort of orders. Stop zapping me. Having a leader is a bit weird. Nice. How do I... Oh, this is very awkward, isn't it? It's not really giving me any useful topographical data to help me get out. No. Do I have to come over here? Remember where I came in. This way.
Scruni do pat kurira do kanki kung. O grani tampio da pushi wompa. Pu tula musta. Kabano tase makipuna. Mali tuta odmishka.
Any way I can avoid going crazy?
Piti do tenya go kaka jojo. Da biska ku paliya. Se gota do muti ki hasa da puño, lis di woto, umpa hupa, chiquilia pasa do bisca.
How do you mean to accomplish that?
Kuchusa yo mata chitoya, nam kanoya choski nawi. Pampawula ji ota kakoga huta nupisto.
With the Force on my side, I'll find him.
Kuchusa yo mata chitoya, asubi mota uipa.
For all you like, la la la. They gave me a palace on Alsakan. I'd prefer a ditch on Alderaan.
Calm yourself. I am a Jedi Master. No harm will come to you.
You're a real Jedi. I thought the madness had finally gotten to me. I'm Leffrey, an excavator. The ritual saved me, but the team... everything's gone wrong.
Why didn't they attack you?
I guess they still recognized me. They didn't do anything, just whispered over and over. The Voss said some ritual could protect us in the ruins. I figured, well, they'd know, so a Voss commando helped me do it. But Dr. Carrion said there wasn't time for everyone to see the native puppet show. He wanted to explore the Dark Heart.
He sacrificed his whole team for impatience.
The Dark Heart. A part is the Deep Cradle.
Deep Cradle? Yes, that's the part of the ruin Dr. Carrion wanted to get into, but it's all sealed up. We spent days trying to open it, then suddenly the madness started. Dr. Carrion ran off, the others stayed and stared at me.
If the doctor knows about the Deep Cradle, I need to find him.
I can't let you go after him. Please don't leave.
I will be here.
You'll stay? Okay. I'll track the doctor's locator, but he's, you know, not a person anymore. Though, if he still has his holo journal, his field notes should be in there.
With luck, it hasn't been lost in the wilderness.
If you can get his holo journal, I'll play it for you. And hurry!
We wait.
What kind of idiot comes to a place like this and just goes, it'll be fine. This is a setting, a universe where there are fucking magic space wizards with magic laser swords running around everywhere. This isn't how it was during the period of the Empire, where there are 2 Force users left in the entire galaxy who are open about being Force users. And they're both Sith, and neither of them use their powers very much in front of many people. I don't know about that, actually. Maybe Vader does. But still, the number of people that actually see the Force used during, the period between the end of the Clone Wars and A New Hope, that sort of 20-year period, 20-year period, that is a period where you could come up genuinely believing...
Wait. Who are you? How did you get this comm? Where is Luda Val?
A period where you could grow up and, be a professional and genuinely never have seen someone use the Force. And actually, probably a period where the Empire was putting out propaganda to say that the Force, certainly that the Jedi are gone, it's over, it's not there anymore. But during a period like this, where there's Sith and Jedi, and multiple Sith, not just 2 of them, lots, and they have an empire, and the galaxy is at war, and good space wizards and evil space wizards are running around killing one another with lightsabers and throwing the Force around. That's not a setting where you get to say, the locals have a weird tradition, beliefs, but they're probably just making it up. It's not real. That's a setting where you listen to the people when they say you need to do a little ritual or you'll go mad if you go to a place. Particularly if you get to that place and it's got fucking twisty trees and evil possessed people and monster creatures. You just spend 5 minutes here looking around and you go, this is definitely very odd. Maybe I should do the ritual that the people that live here and have lived here for thousands of years tell me I should do to make sure that I don't likewise go mad.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Then he is lost or dead. Luda Val was a hunter. His sacred duty, ending the lives of beasts that threatened the Voss. The Grallic was his prey.
It must not kill again.
I might be able to stop it for you.
The Grelic is a great Nexu. Vicious, cunning. It preys upon entire patrols of commandos. Lutevel was our best. No other could destroy the beast.
Why is this particular animal such a threat?
All Nexu are swift and strong. The Grelic is clever. Bones surround its lair. If you would finish this hunt, seek it there. If you succeed, find me at the commando outpost.
Righto. One Grelic coming up. Glad it's not wandering around outside anywhere and I need to find it. I wonder what kind of creature... He said a Nexu, didn't he? That's the lizard cat thing, isn't it? As I recall. I'm surprised that there are Nexu here. I haven't seen any Nexu on Voss before. That's a holocron. I do like the sounds he's making. It really sounds like he's getting his arse beaten. Nice one. Ancient Sith focus tablet. Some ancient tablets. Some ancient tablets with Sith carvings on them. Supposedly they hold the secret to overcoming corruption. In a Sith way. Not like a sensible, sustainable way. Probably. Get really angry at the corruption and force it to not corrupt you or something, I don't know. It seems to be the Sith answer to everything, isn't it? Just get angry at it. Wait, so how do I get to that then? Trooper face, okay. Need to find a way back up apparently. Wish the topography of this region was clearer. Save me dicking about. Like, show me where the walls are and the breaks in them so that I can get around and choose my path. Decided to attack me anyway. Yeah, let's just pull everything, shall we? This is quite a mountain of bones. Oh, hey there. There we are. There are Nexu here. Oh yeah, there were Nexu here, weren't there? We saw them on the old paths. And I speculated about whether they were native or had been brought by Empire beast tamers or whatever. What do they call themselves? How many Nexu are there in this place? This is big, isn't it? let's do the bonus objective. Next you can burrow. Kaizen's having a good time. He gets to beat up loads of weird creatures. A Voss thing. Hello, Grelic. Is defeating him going to end the bonus early? So regardless of whether... Oh. I thought I... Did that not count as a corrupted Nexu then? Corrupted Nexu Blood Claw. I thought that was... Well, it turns out that bonus objective stuck around even after Grelic was defeated, so I actually didn't need to worry. But I thought I had killed... I thought I'd just about managed to kill enough before the Grelic got taken down. Obviously I can't count, can I? Oh well. Over here next, I guess. In character, I should probably have gone and done Dark Ambitions first. Retrieve the crystal, do the ritual to make sure I don't go mad. But I don't think I'm actually going to go mad. So I don't think that it matters very much. Oops. So I'm just gonna head over westward and do the quests in order. Assuming I can find my way to the door correctly. Gonna be really ticked off if it's not actually down here. Also be ticked off if it turns out that... yeah, it probably isn't, is it? Alright, let's get out. If we can. Go around, alright. Also, if that is just a decorative ravine and falling into it just immediately kills you because you're not actually supposed to be down there, that would be irritating. Although, in that case, because you can't stand down there, you won't count as having found somewhere to stand to die. So you'd be respawning the last place that you were standing somewhere that you're allowed to stand, which would be on top of the cliff. So if it did kill you, you'd just be able to leave and then respawn and you'd be fine. Yeah, looks like this is where we want to be. Yeah. It's interesting fungi, aren't they? Bioluminescent. Purple or orange. They seem to look similar. Like the shape of these is the same as these. Although this is this kind of spore orb is not present with the purple ones. So I wonder if they're an adjacent species related. Well, I mean, they were oh no, there we go. Purple orb. So they probably are related, but not the same species, I imagine. No, he's not in for conversation. Hello. It's a shame if we don't get to subdue and heal him. Okay. Just dead. Did the Republic expedition build all of this down here? Or is this Voss construction? Because these metal bits and these glowing things look quite Republic. Not that I think that we've really gotten to see much of the Voss architecture to be able to say for sure. So now we need to negotiate our way around this. He wants to have a go. I'm not interested though. Nope, I'm going the wrong way. This way. That's a bit hair-raising. Get it there. Is that a bridge? Well, thanks for showing me that game. That's someone's objective, isn't it? Where the hell's the thing I'm after? Down there. Right. Voss historical tablet. Bind on pickup. Reputation trophy. The Voss. Companions do not gain any statistical bonuses from equipment. Use grants a small amount of reputation points. This stone tablet contains mundane, historical, and genealogical data about the Voss. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. So, an object that with a little asterisk on it, or a little star sort of shape. That gives you rep points, I guess. That's nice to know. Oh, hello. And of course the thing that we want is behind... What's that? A Voranticus. A corrupted Voranticus matriarch. Dark crystal. Use the crystal on corrupted Voss. You are deeper within the cave. Alright. Can I get past without pulling? No. Alright. There's a corrupted Voss back there. I need to do it on 4 of them, don't I? Cool. I was hoping I wouldn't have to get into a fight because of these. Indeed I don't. not going to get past that definitely, am I? So I might as well preemptively sort it out. Do I still have it? Can I still zap people? Yes. I've already cleansed enough, Voss. Alright. Apparently you get to stay here then. No cleansing for you. Respawned quickly. Oh wait, what do I need to do after this? Can I just... Oh. The only place is here. Yeah, I think actually I'd rather shuttle out to here and then go around like this than try and dick about across these rocks to get out, so... We do have a hand in there as well, so... Back to the base camp. And why that needs to be a smuggler phase? Probably so they can do like a... some kind of fight or cutscene inside there.
Report your ailments. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Cool. All right. Splendid. Oh, come out over here. All right.
The Grelic will not harm anyone again.
A sacred duty is fulfilled. For Ludovel and all Voss, I thank you. Take this. You're welcome among the hunters, outsider.
What's this? Electrum cache, alright. Not the altar? Do I... Is there somewhere else that I need to be? Strange route. Did not find anything of value. That's interesting. I wonder what that's for. Okay, so I'm not... This has to be the place. Oh, there we go. Why was it not showing up as something I could interact with before? I was thinking I would need to, like, stand here and type/meditate or something. Meditate at the altar. No. Okay. Different kind of meditate, alright. Okay. On my knees instead of sat cross-legged. There we go. Turn to Talon Day.
I've completed Kida's ritual. The Voss are cleansed.
Few outsiders heed my warnings. You are better. You have strength. The Nightmare Lands cannot harm you. Laren Kai sent you here to follow Jokul's path. You are ready to enter the Dark Heart. The Gormak King came here alone. We tracked him from Gormakos into the Nightmare Lands. There are many caves in the Dark Heart. Jokul entered the foulest, the Dark Hollow.
What makes the Dark Hollow so dangerous?
The Dark Hollow is home to an ancient evil. All are drawn and lost to it. Voss, Gormak, outsiders, beasts. If they still live, they will attack you.
Perhaps I can cure their madness.
They are lost. Focus on Jokul's path. The Dark Hollow gave Jokul his power. Find the source.
Righto. Can that be broken down? No. Alright. Sell it then.
Welcome to our market, potential customer. Thank you for your patronage.
Now let's head here, and then... that's strange. Would have thought that we'd be going in here, given that this is the Dark Heart and everything. Apparently not. Oh, right, the heroic. I'll do that later.
Master Kelfin, Lord Rennick is dead. He was guarding these tablets.
Wantahumpa, Murirava Fupa Jipampawula. Kupa Tonti Toki Makichisa Chubolo Wawuni.
I mean, fair enough, but that seems a little risky, given that it's Sith tablets. Hopefully he doesn't fall. You would hope that... Just reading a few tablets wouldn't be enough to make a Jedi fall, but who knows?
Good, good, you're back. And so Dr. Carrion gave you his holo journal after all?
Unfortunately, I was forced to kill him.
Dr. Carrion too, huh? Well, that makes his journal even more important. Let me see. Please don't be encrypted.
Wandering off? This team's eccentricities are getting unbearable. The Deep Cradle's secrets should make up for it.
It started like that. Here, the next entry's a few days later.
Following me about. I led them here, and now they're nameless. A switch. A little switch behind the Cradle's third stone. I can't think here. Where did I leave my study?
The Deep Cradle's secret. Its altars grant enlightenment.
It's time I take my leave.
No, you can't leave, not both of you. I'll be alone. Maybe I can send a distress signal, but how long before I'm rescued? And what if the ritual wears off?
The Deep Cradle isn't going anywhere. We'll stay here until rescue arrives.
You do that for me? Thank you. I'll send the signal right now. And then one night there was this sort of crackling noise to the east. But whenever we got up, it went quiet again.
Hello? We got a distress call and... Are you the only survivors?
I have other business here, but this man needs to be returned to Voska.
He'll be safe with us, Master Jedi.
Wait. Here. I found this near the Deep Cradle. It looks kind of valuable. Take it, please.
Such generosity is unnecessary, but I appreciate it.
Goodbye. Thanks for everything.
You show great patience. Be sure of the path, then call. I follow.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Kaizen got a bit bored listening to him blather, but it was the kind thing to do. Help ousage his fears. Boglob the Gluttonous. He's certainly gotten very big, isn't he? Of bones again. This is an awful lot of bones. I keep wondering where these very long, narrow skull type creatures are from. Like, because you never see anything with a skull like that. They've all got the same hole in them there as well. I suppose it's because they've just got the one long skull asset. It's kind of an apish sort of a skull, isn't it? And it happens to have a hole in it at the top. Or are we supposed to take it that this species just has like a third eye in the top of its head? Hello? It's not something... It's supposed to be stealth, but which we can still see the the health bar of. How big is this place? Okay. Reasonable sort of size. I was worried that we would just have this area to work in, and as such, probably wouldn't find enough enemies to do the bonus objective, but don't need to worry about that. There's going to be plenty of enemies along the way. Force resistant to force abilities. Okay, so he's going to take less damage from me. That's fine. Kaizen's tough and he's only an elite. It's not like he's a champion or anything. Though, I've not seen anything that has force resistance before. That's just the shark claw. Shacklaw? Not sure what it's supposed to be. Oh. Sniper rifle. Sure, I told the game that I wanted to put down a force quake there, and instead it cast something else. Weird. Hello. That one died on its feet. The purple and blue and the claws and the kind of weird muscle texture remind me a bit of Gene Stealers. It's obviously the wrong body plan. I just saw this thing shoot lightning. Why am I wondering what's going on? Looking around like I've no idea. Oh, hello.
Aipan wala ins, maudib kuibans. Jawais from Bamataga, I housted him, ni vleladam. Ni ok panai, name in maidens.
You'll find I have a few advantages over a Gormak.
Pines wiper. Ni pate uvaro wisandan sware kanidede, akja swaluda is. Ni havashun isquis, kai jukai, wijans in haumanai.
I'm not here to fight some lowly servant.
Papanu gasavans, lo anes, pose us tauhana. Upa iswisokip, nikpate, sevop talkinins, ja fortainana. Ni pate uvaro wisandan sware kanidede, akja swaluda is.
It's a big mistake to think this is over.
Ak usu tondin manan jai liugen avojandin. Waldufne jamate jafraj.
I am. Now, I've seen these before, but not on the Republic side. This is the first time I've seen one as a Republic player. These, whatever they're called, are the first companion you get as a Sith warrior. Because whilst I was playing a bounty hunter, I saw a lot of Sith running around with these as their companions on Drummond Cars, which is the first, like, is the capital world for the Empire. Is he going to go again? Oh no, okay. Struck down. Ooh, it was a person.
Trapped in darkness for centuries, I'm finally free. You have my thanks. Few challenge Selmacor's servant and survive. Those who do are his pawns. He showed Jokul the future. The Gormak king ran screaming.
Do you know how Jokul got his power?
A mystic's power was not always a rare thing. The Gormak king sees visions. Beneath his skin, he is Voss still. The Voss and Gormak were once one people. I am their ancestor.
That sounds unlikely, given that the Gormak appear to be reptilian and the Voss appear to be insectoid. Or at least their eyes do. But I guess I haven't seen a Gormak eye up close. They still don't seem as though they're that closely related, particularly because of the Gormak, like, neck frills and head tendrils and stuff that are not present on... Well, okay, so they're not that present on the Voss, but they could be vestigial. They've got a lot of, like, lines and ridges on their face, haven't they? Could be vestigial frills.
How did the Voss and the Gormak develop such different cultures?
Their methods are different. They are not. Both believe there is one path to the future. Now Voss and Gormak war against their own. Selmakor feeds on their hatred. If the war continues, Selmacor's power will grow beyond the Nightmare Lands. The Voss and the Gormak must make peace.
Or I could go and find and destroy Selmakor, or whatever is anchoring him here.
Peace won't happen unless they know the truth.
You see things clearly. You're part of a vision. An outsider will end the Gormak threat. You must heal this wound. Tell the Voss the truth, no matter the cost.
The Voss will never believe me without proof.
They will recognize the truth. You face other challenges. I have seen a little of this new Voss. You seek allies for your own war. The Voss will find the truth hard to accept. They may refuse you because of it.
If I tell the truth, the Republic loses their chance at an alliance?
This war will end in truth or in blood. The choice will be yours.
Yeah, fair enough.
My time to rest has come. Go well.
I'd rather bring peace to Voss than get their aid in the war. Although bringing peace to Voss should also preclude Voss joining the Empire, because the Empire tends to take advantage of conflict. Alright, I was wondering why nothing had respawned, because I didn't quite recognise that this was a phase area. Oh, I didn't remember either. What's this? Oh, it's a loosened crystal. No thanks. Don't need loosened crystals. Jakul probably was shown a future where the Gormak and the Voss unite, and as such hated it and ran. That's why he ran screaming. Would not be surprised. Past all of these without fighting, am I? Not sure how that person that just ran past managed it, actually. Because he had 2 lightsabers, he should be a sentinel, and sentinels can't stealth. Really? No. And I saw them before I saw him. So perhaps they respawned on top of him, and as such didn't notice him, but I'm sure that's right. Did I consular phase? Not eligible at this time, so I've got to do something. I've got to boop something before I'm allowed in. Smuggler phase. There's other phases through here. These look like doorways to me, or they read like doorways. Oh no, there's a Jedi Knight phase there. Okay. So what do I do here, or do I just cross a imaginary threshold? Okay, there we go. Time-worn defenders. Droids. You first see this design of droid on Tython. Concealing rock. This is presumably the thing behind which there is a switch. Or maybe not.
3 altars. I meditate for enlightenment. Any nesting beasts will wake.
You'll be perfectly safe with me.
Inside, my journey's end.
There's a lot of twisty rooms, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, this is very getting very Necron feeling from all of this. Just the green and the black. So this is the second altar. You can kind of tell that these are altars, can't you? So I wonder where the third one is. Is it going to be here somewhere? Is that going to be it? I wonder what the point of the 2 passages off to the right and the left is. To contain anything but droids. People don't build things without purpose. Is this what, a room for displaying these statues in? Is that what it is? That seems to be... no, it's not an altar, is it? Just a detail around the edge of the room. So this has some... these consoles? They look like it. Not sure how you're supposed to read information off of these, but these are definitely consoles with buttons and such. Or is that just a place for droids to hang out? Actually, I should probably go and destroy 2 more droids just to make sure that I get the bonus objective out of the way before anything unexpected happens to take it off the table. going to be this time. Oh, more Nexu. Something's happening. The door doesn't like whatever it is. Dark Heart Abomination. Okay, thank you. I can break down these sniper rifles. And yes, this is the location for the last of the altars, as I suspected. Oh, there were more droids in here. Well, 2 more. Okay, that would have been enough, I think. But I didn't know that before. And then
light in darkness.
Grandfather? You died. The cave and the beast before my rescue.
I apologize, sir, for not being able to save you.
Talons in my flesh, Gaiden Co. My breath fading. My last thought. Failure.
Grandfather, stop!
Hope remains. We sprang from this deep cradle. The altars root us. Life, death, duty. Here, all is possible. Ask, and life returns. Your parents, sister, cousins, myself, returned. Shall it be?
These lands are corrupted. This apparition could be lying.
My family... No. I must accept. Learn from what is necessary. I cannot be selfish.
You shoulder a mystic's burden. Willingly. Training ends, Gaiden Co.
Grandfather, your death. I do not understand.
It will take your life to understand, Jedi. Your protection made this possible.
I feel there is much I could learn from you.
I offer truth. One question to guide you. Ask.
Can you tell me who the first son is?
The first son stands always behind you. He begins, does not end. A small token, hidden, to ease suffering. It is yours. Darkness lingers. Healing must begin, Jedi. Seek the divide. Gaten Ko, farewell.
Grandfather, I will. Jedi, wait. I see. The world is different. Beautiful. A vision. I am a mystic.
Your vision. What was it?
2 suns. One alight, the other dead. A mountain to the stars. The 3 must know. Then, to Voss.
A lot of mystic mumbo-jumbo bullshit. Ooh! That's the thing that he left. Cool. The token. So there was a purpose to one of the rooms. That's nice. Gaten Co has conveniently just out of here. And I previously conveniently cleared this room, thinking I wouldn't have any more opponents. That's well hidden, isn't it? To complete my bonus objective with. Wants me to go here, and there's a couple of things to do up here, but I've got this heroic, and I keep forgetting about heroic transports, so I'll use that, which will teleport me right next door to the heroic that it is assigned to. So let's do that with the last 5 or so minutes of stream, and well, it'll probably take longer than that actually, to be honest. And then once I've done this, that will be the end of today's stream. Unpleasant. Still do that. That's not the one I want. That looks a bit tough. It's a big group. I don't think Kaizen would survive that. Let's go for this instead. Alright, up you get, Kaizen. Definitely easier when there's fewer of them. Two more of each, and then I need to find Thalak Varenticus and bash his head in. It's a lot of them things. It's 5, I think. That's the thing I mean. A person. Well, I did recognise Varenticus as the name of a creature. I just thought that maybe it was a Gormak who'd taken the name to be more fearsome or something. Because that does happen. That's an easier fight than any of the others we've had. By which I mean Kaizen's taken less damage than in any of the other fights. In this region. Cool. Now if we can just find one lone Thalak tribesman. I suppose this will probably do, but yeah, no, it's gonna have to be these guys. Did I just start that fight with Kaizen on less than full health? That was a bit stupid of me, wasn't it? Kaizen hold out? No. Can I hold out? Possibly. Yes. Cool. Alright, Kaizen, up you get. That was my bad for starting that fight before you were ready. Destroy machines, alright. So that's the first one. Let's give it a stab. Oh, hello. Destroying each one of these is going to pull a champion. Oh, that sounds tiresome. Still not racing damage. He's not hurting Kaizen anywhere like quickly enough to be a problem. But he has got an awful lot of health. at last. I didn't even drop anything. You little shit. Be good manners to drop something after a fight like that. So rude. Oh, hey. A thingamy. Alien archaeological find. In a multi-species galaxy like this, I find it rather weird to refer to anything as alien. Oh, good. Different fight. No, don't attack me. Stop it! Oh, it died. Why were they attacking me? I wasn't generating as much threat. I can't possibly have been generating as much threat as Kaizen. Oh well. I suppose I could just run away from the next fight. I don't actually need to fuck around engaging them. There's no reason to encourage them. Call out and defeat a tribal chieftain. And how do I do that? Be a very long, involved, and he doesn't drop any loot either. Rude. Very involved. Heroic. Hold on, no. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? I was going to go to a cantina, but actually, I'm not looking for rested XP. Because I'm no longer gaining XP. Let's just sell some... Oh, come on. Sell some junk.
Report your ailments. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
And end things there. I've got a hand in here and a hand in here. But, I'll do those next time, I think. Don't need to do them now. And that's probably the end of Voss. I'm not sure what's after Voss. It's probably Corellia, isn't it? Or maybe Ilum. Not sure. Anyway, either way, we'll find out. Because I imagine that this is probably... Well, no, hold on. Do we have... Well, we've got speeder locations up in the Pelathri marches, haven't we? And that usually means that we've got stuff to do there. Like on Alderaan, for example, that whole northern stretch of map didn't have any speeder points to get to, and this has 2. I don't remember there being quests up there when I was exploring, but that was last week. And it may surprise you to learn, but I've been asleep since then, so I don't remember. So maybe this won't be the end of Voss next time, handing in these 2 quests. But I guess we'll find out then, which should be on Monday, but might not end up being. My energy for being a presenter has not been so high of late. It seems to be ebbing at the moment, but we will be continuing. Should be Monday, but otherwise it might be... Well, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's the idea. That's the goal. But until then, I will be putting this recording up, along with all of my others on YouTube. My YouTube is Vanilla Jester Gaming. You can also find me on Twitter at Vanilla Jester. And until I see you again, whenever that happens to be, I hope you have as good a time as you possibly can. And goodbye.